Castengera is one of the most influential people in my Grady college experience, but also in my journalism career. He helped me get my first job, gave me advice on my second job, really was somebody that I could always turn to if I had a question about something. And I know that I can still do that today. So I'm just very appreciative for all the hard work that he has done at Grady, but also what he's done to really inspire me in journalism, and it's all kept me going so far.
I always remember Castengera for the energy and enthusiasm that he brought to every single show. Whether he showed up wearing this god-awful tacky overalls or was yelling and shouting obscenities during a weather segment, I'll always remember how much fun he had. And that's something I thank you a ton for, Castengera, reminding me always to enjoy what I do.
Hard to believe we were in this room 5 years ago. I was about 40 pounds heavier and I had about 6 inches more on my hair. But you were so instrumental in my journalism career. I told you earlier, you were intimidating, but it was the right intimidating. We always came to work prepared, and your feedback is still some of the feedback I value the most. I think you've been great. You've touched a lot of lives in this industry.
You know, you got me the interview that led me to my job, and I will forever be grateful to you because that's my first job out of college. I've learned so much. I'm going places. I know I am, and it's all thanks to you. So I wish you the best of luck, all the happiness in the world. You totally deserve it, and you better stay in touch.
All I know is that I'm here at this station doing what I do because of you. You put me on the right path. You showed me and taught me so much about this industry before I even got into it. And I couldn't ask for a better mentor. And I'm so happy for you. And I know that there's probably hundreds of other people across the country that feel the way that I feel.
I was writing a VOSOT, and I had finished it, and I was like, okay, I'm going to have Castengera check this. You came, read it, and then you're like, okay, it's good. And I was like, really? That's it? And he was like, yeah, it's good. And that really blew me away. That was kind of the moment in Newsource when I realized, how far I'd come in writing, and now I do that for a living.
To a lot of people, Castengera is this scary man who yells a lot, but to me, he's just not that scary. I feel like I see through his yelling and his, just what can be discouraging sometimes. He's a softie, and I just love how we were able to joke and laugh around together all the time. Also, it only took him about 4 months to learn how to say my name right, so there's that. But anyway.
Hi Castengera, it's Carly Barnett, class of 2014. I just wanted to say thank you for all of the lessons, the very tough lessons that I learned in Newsource. It prepared me for my career in news today. Wishing you all the best on your retirement.
You were the perfect combination of harsh and wise and helpful. You pushed me, you believed in me, you inspired me to create awesome stories. And I am so thankful and so blessed to have been one of your students.
To be completely honest, I think I might have gotten more out of taking mock show with you than I got out of my whole semester in Newsource. Don't tell Hazinski or Cantrell I said that. I will always remember just the great instructor that you were. If something I did sucked, you would sit down with me, tell me it sucked, and then work with me to make it not suck. And that went a long way with me. I really admired the way that you helped your students get better. And I'm sitting here right now preparing to go to my second day as a sports MMJ at WGXA in Macon, largely in part because of what I learned in your classes and what I learned in Grady.
I just wanted to thank you so much for all that you've taught me, for every moment that you challenged me to be better and better and better, and you pushed me, and I truly am a better person, I'm a better woman, and I'm a better journalist for it. Thank you so much. I've learned so much from you.
When you said, just write the way you speak, it was like, well, duh. And just certain things that you told me that I will take with me for the rest of my life. And I know I will be better because of it. I actually just got off work. I must say I'm kind of tired. But anyway, I wish you the best. I know you're so happy to be done with all of our behinds.
There was like a Thursday or something where I went and met with him about like getting ready to apply for jobs. And he was like, oh, do you have your website up? And I was like, no. And he was like, well, have it up by Sunday. And I mean, he wasn't my professor. Like, I didn't have to abide by that deadline, but I did it because that he really wants students to like succeed outside of the classroom. I can't, like, I'm just so thankful to him.
My first job here, still, when I write packages, I'm like, would Castengera approve this lead? Probably not, so then I redo it. So just thank you so much for just challenging me.
You know, I really owe a lot to you. The me that walked into Newsource for the first morning meeting to me that signed off for the last time in our last broadcast is a completely different person. You really pushing me along and believing in me, you know, really made me become a more confident person and believe more in myself, and that's carried over to all the other areas of my life.
I knew that you were going to be my guy in spring 2016 when I complimented your linen shirt and you looked at me and said, "What is this shit?" talking about a story that I had just written. And I knew in that moment that you were going to push me like no other, and I can say today that that is just 100% the case, and I'm so grateful for that.
I was one of the few that wasn't a journalism kid per se, but Professor Castengera treated me as one, and I was so lucky to be able to work on his day because he taught me so much. He taught me how to be a leader, and he taught me just how to respond in those stressful situations, and that guidance is stuff that I use today. And he pushed me to be a better manager, and then later he pushed me to be an even better senior production manager. Even when he was yelling and making all of his dramatic hand gestures, you can just tell how passionate he is about his students and how passionate he is about the journalism program in general.
Thank you for absolutely everything, for helping me get to where I'm sitting right now. I wanted to let you know that you have been more than just a professor to me. You have been a friend, a mentor, someone that I could call on at any minute. And you know that I've had so many phone conversations with you where I have had many complaints, and you know, you've walked me through absolutely everything, and you know, I can't even just begin to thank you. I'd take forever to thank you for everything you've done.
I think what we tell people about that makes Grady special is that the professors really care about you and they'll do anything to help you, and I just think you are the epitome of that. There was nothing that I went to you with that you weren't willing to help me with.
Castengera is swearing, cursing up a storm, comes finds me, "Don't you ever do that again!" I was like, "What'd I do? I thought it was pretty good." Turns out I was whispering my packet script and it sounded really weird, and he made sure that I never made that same mistake again. So Castengera, thank you very much for helping me out in that regard. I never did. So I wish you all the success following this semester and this year.
Castengera, you taught me how to seek out and really fight for journalism that matters, and I'm so grateful for it and all that I learned at Grady. We're taking a huge loss without you. Thank you for everything.
Just want to tell you how thankful I am for all the things you did for me while I was in mock show with you, while I was in Newsource with you, all the things you helped me learn and helped me get better at. You've already watched this video for longer than you read any of my first leads in Newsource when I first called you over to have a look at them, and I think I write better leads now because of you, and I'm just a better journalist overall because of you. So thank you so much again, and I wish you all the best.
I'm actually in radio because, like you, I have a face for radio. I know you had a face for newspaper, so we all get along. Thank you for everything you've taught us. I'm gonna miss your kimonos and Jiminy Christmases, and I'm so grateful to have had you as a professor.
I know you're not really gonna retire. You already have like 5 jobs. But this is a big moment for you, and I'm so excited for your next chapter, and because you've been there for all of my big chapters, so I'm gonna be there for yours, and we're gonna get drinks and celebrate, and it's gonna be great. I thought you were the weirdest human ever, and that's still true, but you taught me a lot along the way, not only about being a good journalist, but to be a good person. And I was trying to look for a job, another job, my second job. You helped me so much, and I'll never forget that, and I'm always going to be so thankful for you.
My favorite saying from Castengera was, "Okay, great, but what's the point?" I heard that quite a few times from him, and that for me was really important. It really pushed me as a journalist to think more critically and to think more about the content that I was bringing to my audience, and so I'm forever grateful for that lesson. I think it shaped a lot of what I do now and a lot of the way I approach things now as a journalist.
30 seconds is definitely not enough, but we work in news, so what can you do? I am so thankful for all 4 years of getting to learn from you, not only as a student, but as a volunteer at Newsource. Some of the most terrifying moments of my college career were definitely in that newsroom getting yelled at by you, but that turned into some of the best advice and lessons that I still keep with me even today. It still shocks me how much I still hear your advice in the back of my head. You are one of a kind. You helped me get my first job, and that's something that I will never forget.
One of the best things about going to school here was having you both as a mentor and just as a friend. You taught me so much. It's a shame that, students in the next few years aren't going to get those lessons from you, but I know you're going to do some pretty awesome things moving forward, so thank you so much.
So one of my favorite things about Professor Castengera was that when he knew that I did something that wasn't up to my potential or standards, he'd look me in the eyes, give me this wicked little grin, and give me a chuckle and say, I know you can do better than this. And he was right, because I knew that I could, and a lot of times he ended up getting the absolute best out of me. And I just want to say, as both a manager and as someone who took the class, thank you so much, Professor Castengera, for everything you've done for Grady Newsource. You were definitely going to be missed a lot.
Bloody hell, I can't believe that you would ever retire. I didn't think this would ever happen, but I guess here we are, and it's happening. I just wanted to say how much you've meant to my career and how much you meant to me throughout school. The fact that you believed in me when I pitched stuff to you, the fact that you were willing to take time with me and teach me how to do things. I don't know if I'll ever be able to explain exactly what that meant, but it meant so much to me. I know it meant so much to every single student that you've done that for.
I know the thing that you're thinking right now. Why didn't she use a bloody tripod? You've had such a profound impact on me and so many others at Grady and in Newsource. When I was working on my first package, I was writing my lead, and I remember you took one look at it, you leaned over and you whispered in my ear and you said, no. You helped me so much. Thank you for believing in me, genuinely.